Today we are reviewing Mouse Soup by Arnold Lobel. It's an I Can Read book. I had not realized how ancient the I Can Read books are. Most people think that little golden books are like the oldest little kid books around, because I know that my mom, they bought them for her. Well, she bought them for me and things like that. But this one was copyrighted in 1977. And this is the first Harper Trophy edition, which is from 1983. And this book is still, Mouse Soup is still on shelves in bookstores. I know, I checked. Because it was on the I Can Read page, so I was thinking about getting it. Lo and behold, my mom comes home with a box of books for my kid. And this was in there, and I was like, well, that's one less that I have to buy now. And it's old, and this is a hardback edition, which is what I love, because my son literally reads so often that he has literally wore the paper covers off the books, like they just fall apart, because we've went through it so much. So hardback books are really the way to go with him. Actually, I'm having to reorder his biscuit set in hardback because he's read all of them so much that they have literally fallen apart. And it's not because he tries to color in them or paint in them or he, throws them or anything like that. He literally reads them so much that the paper falls off and pages come out and stuff because it's just stapled, So this was the way to go for him. Okay, now the book itself is about a mouse who gets caught by a weasel, I think. And the weasel's going to turn him into mouse soup. And I don't know if any of you have ever read Arabian Nights for adults, or 1001 Nights. The emperor in there, he takes a different wife every day, and then he beheads her, or he kills her. I can't remember exactly how it went. But, so this one, she comes up with the ingenious idea, I'll tell him stories to keep him interested, and I'll tell him that he has to wait until the next night to know the ending. So in that way, she stays alive, and she kind of makes him fall in love with her that way. Well, this kind of works the same way. This is like Arabian Nights for kids, because what the mouse says is, hey, this mouse soup ain't going to taste no good if you don't have no stories to go in it. So he tells 4 stories, and in the end, he ends up getting away because he told stories. And the stories are very humorous. This is a good one probably for, well, it says ages 4 to 8 on it. But I've always found that, just because they say those ages, doesn't necessarily, you have to go by what your kid likes. My son really enjoys his books. He's 2. And he's had me read this to him. It's a really good book. I think now it's considered a level 1 book, like not the beginner, but the level 1 I Can Read book. But he really likes it. Let me just show you a page, for example. Let me find a good picture. Okay, look at the print. The print is huge, and there's pictures on every page. And it's, see, really cute illustrations. But the print's really big, so if you have a youngster who likes to read, this is a good present or something, because the print's very easy for them to see. It's easy to keep their attention. They don't feel like they're reading. They feel like they're reading a lot because this book has, 64 pages or so. So they feel like they're reading a big book. But the print is so big that, but it really builds their confidence. So I would get this book, especially if your kid is between the ages of 4 and 8. But, if your kid loves books and you're just looking for something to try and expand their reading shelf or their variety that they read, get this one because it's time-tested. It's been around since the 70s. And it's still on shelves, so that's saying something, it's like Clifford. Clifford's been around forever. And when a book's been around that long and it's still popular, it's like a children's classic. And I don't think that children's classics get quite enough praise as they should, like Mouse Soup, Clifford, that kind of thing. We all know that the Chronicles of Narnia and The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings are like young adult classics. These are children's classics. So, get one for your kid's shelf, even if you don't know for certain that they'll read it, because it could be a treasure later on down the road. And I recommend ordering hardback, because that way it's kind of like an heirloom. And you know what? You never know how much a hardback edition of a classic like this will be worth in 50 or so years. So, order hardback. Let me know what you think. Tell me if your kids liked it and what age they are. And like, subscribe, and comment.